Attention, incoming transmission detected. This transmission has been authorized by the 69th Potato Squadron. Please stand by to receive 69th Potato Squadron transmission. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transmission initiation sequence is now activated.
Hey, what's going on, fellow captains? It's Muse. So today we're going to be talking about something that is causing quite the uproar in the community. So it comes from the patch notes. I'm not going to go over the full patch notes. If you're interested in that sort of thing, there's plenty of other content creators who do patch note videos. So if you need to know completely, need the rundown on what's in the patch notes, just go check out one of those channels. What I'm going to be talking about today is a very specific thing within the patch notes that I'm seeing a lot of people kind of lose their minds over. Very triggered, very, very triggered. So we're going to talk about this, and hopefully we can ease some of people's being triggered, and see how that goes. So let's get into it. We're going to scroll down here and take a look at what is driving people insane. And it's this right here, the YouTube collab. So yeah, a lot of people are really not happy with this, not thrilled, and we're going to talk about why it's good for the game, good for the community, and to not be so negative about it. People are free to agree with me, disagree with me. I'm going to be talking about things from a business standpoint, from a state of the health of the game standpoint, and that is going to be my perspective on this. If you have a different perspective, if you're just, there's one person I see that just literally anytime they see anything YouTube related, YouTuber, CC, anything along those lines, they're negative about it every time. It's just their whole thing. They want to be a hater. That's on them. That's cool. But we're going to talk about why, even if you're that person, this is not a bad thing. So let's scroll down here. This is what we're looking at and what we're going to be talking about. So yes, most of you are probably already familiar with this, so I don't need to get into what it is, what's going on. So let's address some of the things I see that are making people upset with this. One, for starters, let's address the big one. People say this should have been the CCs, and this should have been the content creators within our community because we play the game. So from a business standpoint, what Wargaming is looking to do with this collaboration is to increase the player base and bring people into the game. So you can't do that with people who are already within this game. We have a very small community, and for the content creators already within our community, that means they're very limited on their audience. When you're talking about, the largest channel in our community is Spartan. Hands down, Spartan, 50,000 subscribers. That's the largest. From there, you go down to, the people after Spartan are in the 12 to 10K range. These guys in this collab have so many more followers than even the largest in our community. So if you're looking to market the game to an outside audience, it makes sense to go to these guys rather than our creators. Does that mean I don't think there should be some kind of, event in the future to honor the CCs and the creators within our community? No, by all means, go ahead and do that. But as far as increasing the player base, that's a collab with our community creators is not going to do that. So you have to reach outside of our community and go to people that have these large audiences. So addressing that, we're going to move on to the next big thing, which is partially mentioned in that last conversation. It's growing the community, growing the player base. That is huge for this game. When you're talking about other games out there, a lot of them have millions of players in their player base. Our player base is measured in hundreds of thousands, and not even at the high end of hundreds and thousands, more at the middle kind of end, like right in the middle. You're probably talking, I don't have official numbers from Wargaming, but my best guess is going to be 400, 500, maybe 600,000 is our player base. When you're going against games that have millions within their player base, it makes it hard to be competitive. It makes it hard to do the development things you want to do. So this is a way to reach outside of our player base, our community, and bring in people that may have never heard of World of Warships Legends, never heard of wargaming, never heard of their products, to reach people that we're not in their sphere. And it goes for these guys too, the guys that are involved in this collaboration. Like, there's a lot of comments that I saw where people were like, oh, I've never heard of these dudes. Well, exactly. That's why this is a good collaboration on both ends. Wargaming gets to expose themselves to people that may never have, heard of Legends or considered playing Legends. And these creators get to reach out to people that may have never heard of their channel or heard of who they are. Couple of these guys I am familiar with: Courage, Nade, and the biggest one, the one I actually subscribe to and follow, and was Critical, Charlie. And Charlie, if you've never checked out his channel, a really awesome channel. Very fair dude, very middle of the road, very balanced on things. He's not gonna fluff stuff. He's not gonna BS, beat around the bush. Like, he's just gonna tell it like it is and be very middle of the road with that. He does a lot of good content. Very huge audience. So yeah, this is big for the game. Um, whether you like it or not, whether you hate YouTubers, whether you hate YouTube, this is good for the state of the health of the game. This is going to bring people in and increase the player base. And when you increase the player base, how many times do I go through these groups and these forums and I see people talking about, oh, wargaming, you should do this, and wargaming, you should do that, and this is what we need in the game, and this is what we should have in the game. Well, when you understand it from a business perspective, they have to answer for profits. They're expected to bring home certain profits. And after the profits, then you're looking at what's left over for development. Well, when you have this really small player base, it doesn't leave you a whole lot of money for development. By the time, you take out your profits, you take out your marketing, you take out, all the overhead of keeping the lights on, there's not a lot left for development. And the only solution to that, it's one of two ways. They either jack up the prices of everything in the game, which everyone seems to hate, or they increase the size of the player base and bring more players in. And if you want a healthy game, you want to see Wargaming Legends continue and go forward and be successful and be able to keep the servers live, they need to increase the player base. It's that simple. And if that means bringing in casuals that, are going to have tier 8 ships that have no clue what they're doing with, then so be it. That's what has to happen. Every game I've started on with Wargaming, and I've been around since the original World of Tanks beta, closed beta, day one. So I've been there for just about every single Wargaming product that's come out. And there's always this time frame at the beginning of every wargaming game where it's the sweaty dream of there's only the best of the best in the game, and every battle is hard fought. Every battle, everybody knows what they're doing. It's very, very professional. And then once the game comes out of beta, once it starts, it's had some time being live, being up, they have to start increasing the player base. They have to. It business wise, they have to. You have to allow that. And as people start coming in that aren't, these super skilled sweaties, you start getting the sweaties like freaking out that, oh, like they're catering to the casuals. Well, listen, you can't build a game off 200,000 people. You just can't. That's impossible. So at some point, you're going to have to expect they're going to cater to the casuals. They're going to try and get more of a mass audience. That is the nature of the gaming business. You can't just build a game around 200,000 people. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Like the prices you would have to do crazy subscription prices. You would have to do, the ships in the shop would cost God knows what to keep the game just this high skilled core audience of 200,000 people. So you have to accept, if you enjoy the game, that you're going to have to carry the casuals, that you're going to have to put up with potatoes on your team, that you're going to have to put up with collabs with YouTubers to increase the size of the game player base. These are things that just have to happen if you enjoy this game. And if you don't enjoy the game, then quit it now, because that's the direction things have to go. Whether you like it or not, that's the direction things have to go. You have to have a player base, and you have to increase that player base. And that's the only way to put more money towards development, towards the things people want to see, towards the modes people want to see, towards, like I see people so demanding of what they want in this game and what they want out of this game. And like, do you not understand business, how business works? Do you have no clue how business works? Are you that like, you know, there's the creators that think, it should just revolve around their play style and their play style only? Really? Really? Is that good for business? Is that good for the player base? Is that good for the state of the game? No, it's not. And that's why it's not going to happen. Um, so yeah, you have to understand things from a business sense. And from a business sense, you might not care about the YouTubers, you might not care about the skins, you might not care about the guises, you might not care about the flags. But what you should care about is the health of this game, the state of this game, and wargaming being able to grow this community. And that's 100% what this is about. This is a marketing strategy. And all the guises, the skins, the flags, everything that's coming in game is a byproduct of marketing to increase the player base. So understand that, and maybe you won't be so triggered, so negative about something that is actually going to help the game in the long run. These guys have a lot of followers, a lot of followers. That means a lot of people are going to be hearing Charlie talk about World of Warships Legends. Go look at Charlie's YouTube channel. Look at how many subs he has. Here, I'll even look it up for you right now. Give me 2 seconds. I'll tell you exactly. I should have been prepared, but I didn't think I was going to get into this. But let's take a look. So here, we'll actually do it right on screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, let's go to YouTube. All right. I didn't want studio, but that's cool. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at Charlie. Not moist. All right, let's go. 14.5 million subscribers. And again, the largest creator in our community, Spartan, has 50,000. 14.5 million for one of those creators out of 5. That's a large audience to reach out to and be like, hey, come check out this game. So you don't understand how that might be good for the community, how that might increase the player base? I mean, really? Come on. Come on. Like, this is a smart move on Wargaming's part. This is a smart move on these 5 creators' part. And I would suggest checking out some of these channels. Charlie's channel, like I said, I follow it personally. It's a very, very good channel. Charlie's a good dude. I 100% support this collaboration. I think it's, in the long run, good for what's good for the health of the game. I think it's good for wargaming. I think it's good for development. And I think it's good for these creators. And so I don't understand why people are, okay, so you don't want any of the stuff that is a byproduct of this marketing strategy. That's fine. But don't sit here and be like, oh, wargaming, why would you do this? What are you talking about? Like, this makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. So, I don't know. That's all I have for you. Y'all's thoughts and opinions are always welcome. I don't understand how somebody could have a different opinion on this other than, okay, this is good for the game. Do I like being on the team with, 8 potatoes that have no clue what they're doing? No, I don't. But I understand that's what's good for the health of the game. I understand you need those casuals. You need those people that have no clue what they're doing in your match for the game's health overall and in the long run. And, we're coming up on Wargaming's 5-year anniversary. If you want to see this game 10 years, 15 years from now, then this is the stuff that needs to happen. And people need to learn to accept that. And they need to learn every decision is not going to revolve around just them. It's just because you're a BB player, you're not going to get everything. You're not going to get the HE spammers nerfed, and you're not going to get the DDs nerfed, and you're not going to get, like, you can cry all you want. There's people that play other classes. So Wargaming can't just cater the game to BBs. Everyone says, oh, subs aren't coming, subs aren't coming, subs aren't coming. I guarantee you subs are coming at some point. So either quit now or get over it, because they're coming. That is money. Like, they're already developed. There's already the models. There's already everything there for it, the framework. And it just needs to be adapted to the console version of the game. But most of the work is already done. So why wouldn't those show up? Why would you not bring that in at some point and just go, hey, here's extra income? And, people can threaten to quit all they want. I'm quitting when subs come. Well, then quit, because I've seen in more wargaming titles the community do that exact same thing and say, oh, we're going to quit if you do this. And wargaming did it anyway. And the game's larger now than it was at that point. So quit. Like, if you can't handle subs, quit. You're either going to learn to deal with them, or you're going to learn to not play World of Warships. That's simple. Like, people want to get triggered. They want to freak out over things. Like, it's not worth freaking out over. Like, you can accept it and move on. Just like this collaboration. This is good for the health of the game. This is good for the player base. Accept it and move on, or don't. It's that simple. But sitting there crying over it, raging against wargaming, none of that's going to do anything for you. Again, comments, opinions, thoughts, all welcome. This is how I feel about it. It's a very business-driven decision, and it's a smart decision, and it's good for the health of the game in the long run. For looking at 5-10 years from now, this is a good decision. This is a good thing for our game, our community. And that's all I have for you. I appreciate you. I'll catch you next time, Captains. Take care. Bye.